guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing this really fun back to school little wooden blocks. So it's a rigid body simulation, so if we press play again, you can see everything falling until it's the final rendered. Render. So let's start a new file with a new file. So this file will be out on my Patreon. If you want to go there, you can get the file there. So let's start by adding a cube. And so most of the scene is actually made of cubes. So let's see here. What we're going to do is use an array. It's kind of the whole project is an array modifier. So that we're going to let it 1.1 with the default cube scale, and then we're going to set it at 10. To set this at 10. So that's the normal size for this type of stuff. And now we're going to duplicate this. So select this and Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. No, it isn't working. I don't know why. Okay, let's just. So I'm going to put another one at 10, and then we're going to remove this from the X value, and then today I'm not having a good Blender day. So I'm going to just Ctrl+V this on the Y, so we get this hundreds block, and then we're going to let's try to duplicate this again. How it worked, I don't know why. So we're just going to come here and put a Z 1.1. So here is, that's the 1000 cube, the biggest one you can find, I think. Maybe there's a bigger one. So we're just going to look from the front view and then duplicate this. So I'm going to duplicate on the X, hold Ctrl so I can snappy move. And then this time I'm going to delete this array modifier. So that's the 100 block. Then we're going to duplicate this again. So Shift D, X, and then I think that's the same distance. And then I'm going to remove this again so we get the little cubes. So that's a 10. And then finally we're going to duplicate it and just make it a cube. Wow, that's so cool, a cube. Okay, so now we got all of this, and then if we try to make a simulation right now, it will be really messy because the center of mass is right over here. So if we rotate it, it's going to rotate like this, not like a normal cube. So what do we have to do here? We're going to first apply all the modifiers with Ctrl+A, and then this one's 2, and then this one right over here. So now it's actually, the geometry is like this. So we're going to make the center of mass in the middle. The way we can do that is press F3 and then origin to geometry. So origin to geometry right here, and then we're just going to press F3, and then that will be safe right here. So again, and then the cube we don't need to mess around with. So now if we try to rotate the cube, it will rotate like a normal cube, or that's what I call a normal cube, the default way. And now we're going to make the simulation with it, which is the fun part. So there's a lot of rigid body tutorials, and it's all really easy. So I'm just going to scale this plane by 100. I added using Shift-A. And then what I'm going to do is just make this plane. I'm going to go to the simulation tab and then put the rigid body and then put a passive. The passive, what it does, it acts like a floor, so it won't fall, but it will interact with the rest of the stuff. So now the rigid body to all of the other ones, and then that's good. If we press play, it will be really laggy because they're all kind of in the floor not kind of, they are literally in the floor. So I'm just going to grab on the Z and then hold control. Now they're just resting. If we press play, they won't do anything. So what we have to do now is put them at a cool place. So I would use like 1 or 2 of those, this big one, which is the 1,001, and then for the little hundreds, it's not little, I don't know what I said, it little, it's little, so I'm just going to bring it to the side like this. And one thing, you don't need to worry about the scale, because the rigid bodies in Blender, they're a lot better when you use big things. It tends to not lag too much like it would normally. So yeah, I'm just putting at random positions. I think 4 is already good for this. And then like the biggest ones, we used little of them, and then they'll get smaller and smaller, and then we'll use more and more of them. So we don't want to use 1 cube and then 500 of those. So I'm just going to use the 10s now, bring them over here, and I like to put them like each one at a place where there only is this type. It's kind of what I'm doing here already. So that's the place where there's mostly 100s, and then here on the back there are the 1,000 ones. So I'm just duplicating in random places. I don't have anything to tell me where to duplicate. I'm just rotating them and duplicating at random positions. So yeah, I'm just talking, so I don't need to make a time lapse of this part. So I'm almost done with the 10s right here. You can skip this part because it's just really not good. It's the worst part of this tutorial. So okay, I'm just going to duplicate this once. A technique that you can use, it's just duplicate them. Just duplicate a lot of them. A lot of them. That's taking a while. And then there's a lot of techniques for duplicating things actually. So I'm just going to duplicate this on the Z and then kind of rotate it on the Z too. And duplicate it on the Z, rotate it on the Z. Okay, that's enough. That's a lot. So I'm just going to. So if your computer can't handle like almost anything, it's better to not use that much stuff. But okay, now what we can do with those is press F3 and then randomized transform. So we can just go under rotation and then whoop, they're all rotated. Now if we press play, you see they just jump around. So that like isn't anything like good. So we just need to separate them. I forgot to look at this before. You can't let anything overlap. It's just the worst thing that can happen in simulations like this. So I'm just bringing them on a place where they probably won't overlap, and then I'll test again in like some. Okay, I'll test again right now. You see, you can really clearly see they are jumping right over here, this one. So we just need to grab it and move it like this. Finally. That was one, but it was so subtle, I don't think it will make much of a difference. So now we'll just wait until they rest like this. So 183 frames. That's a lot. And then we can just delete some of them which get too out of bounds, too much out of bounds. Oh, okay, just messes everything up. Yeah, that's the thing that I don't like. So if you don't want to need to press play every time, we can just go over here to the rigid body world under this thing. I don't know what is this drawing actually. I've been using this for 2 years and I don't actually know what it is. So I'm just going to bake this, and then now if you mess anything, it's just animated. It just animated the whole thing. So I'm just going to go to 183. That was a frame. And then I'll select the little cubes that got too out of bounds. Oh, that was a random thing that I did. I don't know why. Some things I just don't understand why it happened. Like, why is it deleting the audio cube? Okay, I don't care. So now if we press play again, you'll see everything is working. I just forget about this. So now for the back to school, what I did is I just added extra text and then wrote back to school, just back to school. That's it. It's right here. Back to school. So I'm just going to scale by 10. I think it's better for now. And then I'm going to go right here and press enter. So it's like this. And then grab on Shift Z and scale some more so we can actually see it. So yeah, that's a good size. We just need to rotate it a little bit because I think the camera will be around this position, and then right up here. For the stuff on the texting, yeah, I'm just calling everything random stuff. So I'm just going to extrude them up like that. And then for the fonts, I'm going to just find a playful one like this, maybe this, Comic Sans. Yeah, I think that's what I used. I shouldn't have used Comic Sans. So now I'm just going to add a camera, and then press Control Alt number pad 0. I just noticed that cube made a like little exclamation mark. That's cool. So now we're going to, what is that noise? Sorry guys. So now we're just going to make the camera stuff orthographic, and then just bring this value up. So now you can see like this, it's working. It's a good camera angle. I just need to rotate it a little bit more. This is perfect, and then scale this again. So the last thing we'll do is, so I use a wooden material for the render. I didn't know I was going to make such a tutorial like this. So the material that I use is, I think you have already guessed from your real-time materials. I just used this. So I just came to wood and used the ash wood, like, yeah, so if you want, you can buy real-time materials. You can look a tutorial up on how to make wood. And then for the lighting, I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to get I only use the area light. So if you see me adding light, it's an area light. So it just flipped around. Let's unflip it. And then, okay, that's a good size already. So for the power, I think that number over there, it's good. Maybe one more zero, I think it would be good. Yeah, that's a good number. So for the other lights, I think I can scale this down actually. And then I'll just put one in the back, just for it looks like a studio light, I don't know. I always like to put this kind of stuff. So I think I think this is too much. Let's remove 1 0 and add a 5. That's way better. And then there's this one coming from the back, and maybe we can just get this one again and scale down and rotate it on the side like this. I think that's good. So the lighting, again, it's always, you need to find your lights place. So it took a while for me to find this good light place. So you just need to, when you know and you actually learn the thing, which I'm still on my journey to, you just end up calculating by your own where the lights will be, and then you just put them there, and it normally works, but not always. Sometimes you need to change stuff. So just the basics that everybody says. That's the fill light. That's the main light, and this is the backlight. So sometimes this gives a little rim right here, but in this case it's a little hard to get this effect. But I'm just going to do one last thing, which I think, yeah, this was fine. I knew that. So I'm just going to bring this down. That's way better. So for the materials I already said, you can go there, but I'll stop making such long and I don't know. Bye.